If I can't play tennis, I have no reason to live. Because we watched Season 6, Episode 11, The Switch. Hello, Katy.
Hello, Derek.
You laughed quite hard at the if I can't play tennis, I have no reason to live line that the woman gave.
I wrote it phonetically. If I can't play tennis, I have no reason to live.
Uh-huh. So how did you like the Switch?
I think I liked it because I laughed a lot and I didn't write a lot.
You laughed quite a bit at many things.
It was a slow burn.
I feel like this is like half of an episode.
Or yeah, there's a start of 2 episodes.
Yeah, and like when the like executive producer credits started rolling, I was like, they're just going to end it here.
Yeah. It did really feel like it wasn't over.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, sure.
You also laughed.
Yeah, it was good. The Switch was written by Bruce Hirschbaum and Sam Krass.
Hirschbaum and Krass joint.
They don't have links on either Wikipedia or WikiSign, so I don't know if they wrote any others. It was directed by Andy Ackerman. It aired on January 5th, 1995. Vulture.com ranked it as a quite middling 118.
Oh.
And Screen Crush had it slipping into the top 5 best Seinfeld episodes.
Wow.
In the description of the episode, Vulture... It doesn't mention Jerry's storyline at all. It's specifically, it's like, you learn Kramer's name, and George is worried that his girlfriend is bulimic.
Yeah.
And in the Screen Crush, it's like, well, it's memorable because you learn Kramer's name, but also the scene where George and Jerry devise the plan to switch roommates is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, the episode's called The Switch.
It is called The Switch.
So who are the guest stars?
So we had Gail Strickland and Wayne Knight reprising roles, where Gail Strickland played the role of Jocelyn Lois, the manager at Doubleday.
Landis?
Huh?
You can't read your writing. I know it was Landis because it made me think of the director John Landis. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Wayne Knight played Newman.
Mm-hmm.
We had Cherie North taking up the role of Babs Kramer. She was in Breakout, Lawmen, and The Shootist.
Those aren't real things.
Those are all spaghetti westerns from the 1970s. We had Charlotte Lewis playing the role of Nina.
Who's Nina?
George's girlfriend.
Oh.
She was in a movie called Lost Angeles, Men of War, and The Golden Child, which is a movie that How Did This Get Made covered.
Oh.
We had Jan Karam playing the role of Sandy.
Okay.
She was a voice on the TV show Dr. Katz. She was in an episode of Diagnosis Murder and an episode of The Norm Show.
She looked familiar, though.
She did not have a lot of acting roles. She had a couple of like writing credits, but nothing I really recognized.
I feel like maybe she looks a lot like another one of the women that Jerry dates. Or maybe somebody that Frasier dates. Yeah, I think she just looks like someone else.
Yeah, sure. And then Heather Medway played the role of Laura. She was in Viper, an episode of Friends, and a voice on The Young Adventures of Indiana Jones.
Was the actress who played Babs in Seinfeld previously, did we ever see Babs?
No, this is her first appearance.
But we heard her voice?
No, there was an episode where Kramer goes to get his jacket from her apartment, but you never hear her voice or meet her or anything.
Was that 5 seasons ago? Because he says he hasn't talked to her in 5 years.
I think that was season 1, yeah.
Let's throw it back to last week when I asked you if you remembered this episode.
Do you not just get down on your knees and thank God that you have access to me and my dementia?
So? You said nothing.
I said the line, do you ever just get down on your knees and thank God that you know me and have access to my dementia?
Yes, you did. So I'll read the synopsis to tie this all together. Jerry wants to break up with a woman to date her roommate. George thinks his girlfriend has an eating disorder. Kramer's first name is revealed.
Those things happen.
Yeah. No mention of Elaine and the Brewline. Have you ever heard of Brewline?
I wonder if it's made up. We can check that next week.
Yeah. So the stand-up, Jerry's talking about tennis uniforms.
How it's basically underwear.
Yeah, it's like what you would wear under a uniform, but they used to be like long pants and knit sweaters.
Mm-hmm. Kind of what like Fraser and Niles wear when they go to play squash.
Yes, or what Jocelyn Landis is wearing. She's got on a knit sweater, but like a little skirt. So she's between generations, you know?
I had a family friend that worked for the Canadian Open, the women's tennis, and like while they were assembling the stands, the athletes would warm up and they would like actually be warming up in just their like sports bra and whatever.
Oh, just underwear?
Pretty much.
But is there a rule with squash where you have to wear white or light colors?
There used to be a rule, I think, at Wimbledon where you had to wear white.
I think there still is.
I think they might be more lenient in that. And then remember there was the Serena Williams wanted to wear like the catsuit.
Yeah. And they're like, no, you have to wear a skirt. Yeah. And now you can wear whatever. Mm. But I think in squash, you have to wear pastels or white. I don't think
so.
Your parents would know.
Probably.
Also, Jerry talks about the scoring in tennis. Like that's how the crazy scores were made up. Because they're playing in knits in the sun. They're like, oh, you got a point? I don't know. It's 15. Mm-hmm. Another one? 10 more. Whatever. Let's just finish this.
Now, do you know why they call like zero love?
L'œuf.
L'œuf. Because of it looks like an egg, and in French.
Why couldn't they just say zéro?
Because it looks like an egg.
But it also looks like a zéro.
Makes it more fun. If you're standing out there in a sweater in the heat, you want to have some fun.
How does pickleball scoring work?
Oh my God. 1-1-2? No. 1-2-1. You have to say the score before you serve. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Uh-huh. And I can't remember who was talking to about that. And they were like, you know that like when this game was being invented, there was like one friend that like would never say the score.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, it's a rule. You have to say the score before.
I've never played or watched anyone play pickleball, but I feel like that aspect of it would irritate me to the point where I could not participate.
Like, I don't know. I just don't understand why they need that. Like every other ball net based sport has been able to like figure out.
And also, why are there 3 numbers?
Well, so that's what I'm talking about. Like I can kind of understand like you want to say the score before every serve.
Yeah, but
I don't understand this 3 number like
I don't understand the 3 number thing. I don't understand why you have to say it.
So I think it's, and correct me if I'm wrong, pickleball.
I'm sure people will.
Pickleball culture is out of control.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's in the water. You're naming sports after dogs. You're playing pickleball. You're not allowed to hit it in the kitchen.
You gotta stay out of the kitchen.
So I think the score that you say is what the score is, and then like if it's your first or second serve.
Okay.
Because I think you just like rotate serves.
Yeah.
But you do 2 serves, or you play doubles. I could just be making this up.
I think you are. I think you're making a new game. Next time, let's play ping pong. A lot easier to jump over the net. Mm-hmm. That's funny.
I think I'm someone that says like, that's funny.
You do. You never laugh at
I
my
laugh
jokes.
all the time. I've laughed on this podcast. Check the tapes. Mostly at my own jokes. I think that I will. I am the person that like. I wouldn't say that I'm hard to laugh, but I definitely maybe I have like a peculiar sense of humor, and then I'm also like probably overthinking situations. So the funny situation, I've already thought of in my head. So when it happens spontaneously, it's not spontaneous to me. And so the spontaneous factor.
You've already run the scenarios.
Yeah. I knew that was going to happen. Like,
so something really surprising has to happen to make you laugh.
mm-hmm.
Like our kid coming home and saying, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. That was so funny. She didn't say, I said, can you please pick up your backpack and put it in the cupboard? And she said, I know, Jesus Christ.
So I didn't hear her say that, but you had picked her up and I was walking down the stairs and I heard you saying, you know, when I was 13.
I was probably, I don't know, I might have been like 15. I remember I was in a store and my mom said something and I said, Jesus Christ. And she got so mad at me.
Your mom was not religious.
No, she definitely not religious, but we would say grace before dinner growing up.
I find this funny.
Why? Anyways. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble as
nearly an adult
for saying Jesus Christ, or sassy little 8-year-old.
So we're at the stand-up of this episode and we're 20 minutes in.
George is dating a model.
We never know how they meet.
He's a member of the Glitterati.
The people who glitter.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Kramer say, there you go, monkey boy? Oh, because he says she eats and eats and eats and never gains any weight. And then Kramer suggests that she's refunding.
Maybe she's bulimic. Is that the only time they use the word bulimic in this episode?
And I think so.
The rest of the time they just say refunding?
Yeah. Yeah, so we see them at dinner and she's messily eating spaghetti. Mm-hmm. Like she's an AI generated person eating spaghetti. Have you ever seen these?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe I'll make that the cover image for this week's story on Instagram.
You can ask Midjourney to give you a picture of Charlotte Lewis
eating spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately it's like, I'll be right back. I gotta freshen up. I couldn't take you any fresher. He grabs her.
Grabs her hand. Mm-hmm.
I guess we never do find out if she's refunding or not.
Well, at the restaurant at the end, she's just brushing her hair.
Well, she went in there first.
So maybe she was waiting for the other throw-upper so she could throw up in private.
Maybe she'd already done it.
Think there was enough time? How long does it take to throw up?
I don't know. I'm not a puker, but if you do it every single day, you're probably pretty good at it.
It's fair.
So George is not actually upset that his girlfriend might have an eating disorder. He's upset that he's paying for these meals that are literally going into the toilet.
At least digest them a little bit.
Yeah.
Get your money's worth.
It's like, you know what I need? I need someone on the inside. I thought he was going to ask Elaine to double date.
I think that's obvious, yeah.
But he's like, who are those women at the bathroom? A matron. And Jerry, lifts his head and he goes, I can't help you there.
Mm-hmm.
Kramer slowly turns around, shaking. Babs is a matron.
Digging up the past with the Kramers.
So he asks her later to quit her job as a matron and they'll go into business together. He goes, if you're clean.
Mm-hmm.
She gets mad. I've been clean for 2 years. There's some stuff going on here.
Kramer's repressing childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Maybe this explains some things. So, been mentioned, but we find out Kramer's first name.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmo Kramer.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 0 to names today, how bizarre do you find the name Cosmo Kramer?
Right next to Cosmo, I wrote down Technomaximus.
So, was that yesterday we played the game Autobot or Not? Where I gave you 2 Transformers and the latest Musk Grimes baby name.
Yes.
And you attempted to guess which one was a Transformer and which one was a actual live baby.
Do you still have them written down?
It was Ultra Magnus.
I guessed Ultra Magnus was the baby. I can't remember the real one. It's like Technobot.
Technus. Technomechanicus?
Technomechanicus. Is a child's name. The last one was
Scorponok. So recently, and something that you really enjoy to do is you go through the crazy names from like draft years, like the WHL junior hockey draft is
so entertaining.
Is just ripe with fantastic names. Recently in the news, there has been some hubbub around the best names in college football.
Okay.
And I think we should play a game where you tell me whether or not this is a real name of a NCAA college football player in the year 2023. Okay?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
Number 1. General Booty.
Yes.
That is a real name. Number 2. Kool-Aid McKinstry.
No.
That is a real name.
No.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, he's a cornerback for Alabama. Number 3. Pig Cage.
Is the joke going to be that they're all actual names and you haven't put any weird ones, any decoys in?
I don't know what to tell you.
Pig Cage. No.
Pig Cage is a real name. Number 4. The Coldest Crawford.
That's pretty tame considering, so I'm going to say that's real.
The Coldest Crawford is a wide receiver for Nebraska. He just signed a deal with an Omaha-based heating and cooling company to do advertisements.
Oh, yes. Amazing.
Okay. Number 5. Storm Duck.
Yes?
Storm Duck is quarterback for Louisville. Number 6. Booby Curry.
No. Stop this.
Booby Curry is a wide receiver for Buffalo. Major Burns.
Real.
Major Burns is a safety for LSU. Squirrel White.
No.
Squirrel White is a wide receiver for Tennessee.
Okay, I'm going to say yes from now on. You're just looking at a list.
Fish McWilliams.
Oh my God. Yes?
He's a defensive tackle for UAB.
None of these are in parentheses, right? These are their legal names.
Chief Borders.
Again, none of these are in parentheses?
None of these are in parentheses.
Yes?
Chief Borders is a linebacker for Nebraska. Okay, last one. Okay, 2 more. Tiger Shanks.
Yes.
Tiger Shanks is an offensive lineman for UNLV. Okay, last one. Hero Canoe.
Now we're into the WHL, right?
Is Hero Canoe a...
Yes.
Hero Canoe is a defensive tackle for Ohio State. Okay, last one. Rowdy Beers.
Yes.
Rowdy Beers is a tight end for FIU.
Oh my goodness. Do you think the spit take that George does when Elaine says Cosmo is real?
It's a really good question. So they had decided, Larry David had decided that Kramer's name would be Cosmo, named after a child that lived in an apartment building that Larry David and Kenny Kramer lived in.
Okay. But did he decide this like in season 6?
Decided in season 6.
Okay.
And in the script, they didn't reveal. They had just wrote X as the name and then revealed it like on set.
So when George is walking between Jerry and Elaine, like he's parting the Red Sea and he reveals it to be Cosmo, that's their legit reaction?
That's what my sources are saying.
Mm. So when they had it as X in the script, Elon Musk took that literally when naming his first child. Sorry, his, I don't know, 11th
Every
child?
company, the only business idea this man has is
X.
We'll take this company, we'll call it X, because
Yeah.
X is cool.
Yeah.
PayPal, Space, Hyperloop, their logo is a giant X, Y, and X, formerly known as Twitter. How long? For the next 3 years.
We talked about this. Can news outlets please stop saying blah 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 said it on X, formerly known as Twitter? Can we just stop?
No, because you don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they say like, "Oh, I heard it on X."
Well,
Because it's a dumb fucking name.
It is dumb, but if you don't know what it is, great. Nobody use it anymore. It's stupid.
Yeah. Are we posting on Threads yet? Catch Close Talkers on Threads.
No, never.
Why?
Okay, why? There's 100 million people there. We should be... No, forget it.
We got to get this out there.
Where is out there?
We got house repairs to pay for.
The cat is out of the bag.
That's a good one.
So then they're talking about the Switch. And we're finally talking about the Switch. And we go into like a noir montage.
The diner scene and like the dialogue between Jerry and George. And
this is where the next episode starts. It gets like conceptual, sillier.
Yeah. But I think this is like one of the top 10 scenes in Seinfeld, maybe.
Yeah.
They would have killed you in the Middle Ages just for suggesting it. They had roommates in the Middle Ages? Well, I'm sure between the years 800 and 1200, there were two women sharing a room together.
Has anyone you know done the Switch?
Done the Switch.
I'll expand it to like dumping someone for their roommate and trying to get with their roommate, or dumping someone trying to get with their, like, I don't know, sibling or best friend. Has the Switch worked in any form ever?
When I was in university, the summer before a new roommate moved in, I started dating a girl that he had dated.
Oh.
And like, but I asked him about it, and he was like, that's cool. But there was obviously like tension. And then there was like another house of girls, and I remember like guys weren't trying to like date all of the girls, but like to like make out with all of those girls.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make out with any of them.
I'm not judging.
You had a look.
I do and I don't want to hear makeout stories of yours. I do and I don't.
That wasn't one of mine.
It's like smelling milk that you think is rotten.
What?
Like, I know I'm not going to like this, but I'm going to take a whiff
anyway. Making out with Derek is like smelling milk.
No, hearing
that
stories.
I think might be rotten.
Hearing your stories of your conquests.
Hearing stories of my conquests is like rotten milk.
Yeah.
Okay. You're also lactose intolerant, so even if the milk wasn't rotten, it would make you fart.
So I wrote down, is every episode from now on going to be a style reference? The last one was Superman. This is like this, you know.
There was even like
story.
the noir thing between Newman and Babs.
Yes. I was like, this is like the after party this season.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be so great. I know it's not going to happen, but.
You should watch the after party.
Oh, yeah. Watch season 1. Fantastic show. Season 2. Better?
I don't know if it's better.
Different.
It's definitely different. And like picking a style for like every episode was definitely a way that made it different enough from the first season that you're not just like, oh, they're just doing the exact same thing over and over and over with the same people.
So in this montage, it's suggested that this unusual request will lead to the perfect plan.
Yeah.
Jerry makes the unusual request. She's into it.
And guess what? She just talked to her roommate, and she's into it too.
George is so excited for Jerry.
This is like discovering plutonium by accident.
He's like, I can't. I'm not a guy.
I have to get new lighting, new pillows.
Mustache. I have to grow a mustache. Buy robes, lotions, bedspreads, carpet, lighting. I have to get friends. George goes, why can't good things like this happen to me? And Jerry says, you couldn't do it either. I know. Amidst all of this, Elaine lends her racket to Jocelyn Landis and can't get it back. Mr. Pitt's racket.
I was kind of thinking about this, and could you axe this whole Elaine tennis lending storyline? And other than the fact at the end when she's like, I need to borrow Newman's racket.
Yes.
But could they have figured out like a different way to go and like walk in on Newman banging Kramer's mom?
I don't know, but that was one of the things I didn't laugh at because I could see it coming.
Yeah. Also, did Babs call Kramer Cosmo when he walked in?
Yes. I did laugh when Newman said Cosmo, because he's like flustered and trying to explain himself and then interrupts and goes, Cosmo. That's funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
Well, listen, we've been talking for 40 minutes.
I ran into notes. The last thing I wrote down was I'm not an guy.
Yep. Are you?
Never have been.
So what's on tap for next week?
The Label Maker?
The Label Maker. What's it about?
Baby Label Maker Jr., maybe? I think Tim Watley regifts a Label Maker to Jerry from Elaine, to Elaine from Jerry, and it's a piece of crap.
Okay. If I had any corrections, I lost them. So I assumed that I had none.
Okie dokie.
We'll see you next week.
I think it was perfect last week.
I think we were perfect.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Believe it or not, this is our podcast. Please subscribe at the end. If you subscribed, we would be happy. Please subscribe to us. Believe it or not, it's our podcast.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?